The last verse of this chapter, Deuteronomy 29:29, says that the secret things belong to the Lord. That makes me think of Psalm 25, which says the secret of the Lord is with those who fear him. He wants to make himself known. He wants us to have eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart to understand. But that comes from God. Earlier in the chapter, Moses says that God hadn't given the Israelites eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart to understand. We need God to come to faith in God. We need God to allow us to see him so we can respond. So if it's his job, what's ours? We humble ourselves. Even before we know God, we know of him. We see the majestic works of his hands. We see the stars and the storms. We see the marvels of nature and the human body. And we know a human mind couldn't create those marvels. And we know it couldn't happen by accident. And we know there must be a God. And we know that we aren't him and are nothing compared to him. So we seek him. We want to know this great God. We want to know our Creator. We want to know the one who does all things well. We get a glimpse of who he is, and we will, if we humble ourselves and seek him, because he promises to give grace to the humble and to be found by those who seek him. And when we get that glimpse, we acknowledge his rightness and our wrongness. We recognize his goodness and our badness. We acknowledge his ways are the good ways and ask him to teach us his ways and give us the power to walk in them. And that's it. Get a right view of God by humbling yourself and asking him to show you. It leads to the cross where we see our sinfulness next to a holy God. And it leads to God's love being poured into our hearts by surrendering our lives in order to live out his life in our flesh.